in developing relationships with their patients. From making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hi, this is Carol Kennedy with Camo Country, and we've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for many years, and we appreciate Blue Water Broadcasting helping promote Camo Country.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Victoryland Casinos, crowning 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On the radar, any showers this evening will be very, very sparse. Not many. And they will fade out. Overnight low temperature, very muggy, 73. Tomorrow and Friday will be even hotter with the high temperatures in the lower 90s both days. Good bit of sunshine and mostly dry for the next few days. There are triple-digit heat indices in our future, especially by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the low to mid-90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFE's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
News alert, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing a bombshell report today that shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born, interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election. A month after Trump beat Hillary, Barack Obama wasn't satisfied with his intelligence reporting and ordered his CIA director to create a new assessment of how Russia interfered with the election. This was a highly unusual move. John Brennan handpicked 5 CIA analysts to write the assessment, and they were siloed. None of them knew what the other was doing. And only one analyst was in charge of drafting this report. There was nothing routine about this, and it was a rush job to publish before Trump was sworn in. Nothing was coordinated with the other intelligence agencies either. Basically, this was home cooking for Barack Obama. There were 4 key elements from the assessment that were repeated over and over again and formed the basis of the Russia hoax and the Robert Mueller witch hunt. 1, that Vladimir Putin wanted Donald Trump to win. 2, Putin took action to help Trump win. 3, the Russians had blackmail on Trump. That was the Steele dossier. And 4, that the Russians tried colluding with the Trump campaign. None of any of this was ever true. There was no reliable intelligence to support any of these allegations. Senior CIA officials repeatedly refused to traffic in these allegations, but they were repeatedly overruled by CIA Director Brennan and FBI Director Comey, who insisted that they be pushed, even without verifiable evidence. The Obama administration cherry-picked the intelligence, lied about their sources, misquoted sources, didn't corroborate their claims, suppressed intelligence that ran counter to their narratives, and even used anonymous internet postings. Rank and file CIA admitted what they were doing violated their own tradecraft standards. There was a massive pressure campaign that came right from the top. CIA analysts say they received unusual directives from political appointees, the CIA director, and Obama himself. This is how the Russia hoax was born.
Donald Trump knows that the Russians helped him win in 2016.
Putin hated Secretary Clinton so much that the flip side of that coin was he had a clear preference for the person running against the person he hated so much.
It was Russia in a very systematic way tried to interfere in the election and to try to advance the prospects of Donald Trump being elected.
This was such a malicious disinformation campaign perpetrated on the American people that at one point, 60% of Democrats believed the Russians hacked our voting machines to help Trump win the White House. What this report actually shows is that the Russians just wanted to create chaos and undermine Americans' faith in democracy. Solid intelligence suggested that Vladimir Putin didn't care who won. He had no preference. But like most people, expected Hillary to win and had a little docket of compromising dirt on her, dirt that he never released. Now, if Putin wanted Trump to win, why didn't Putin drop the dirt?
There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious, substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump.
Now, if Clinton was on tranquilizers like the Russians believed, why didn't they leak it to help Trump win?
How credible was the information about Hillary Clinton's health?
All I have seen is what the Intelligence Committee have reported through their investigation. I think the underlying point there is that we understand from intelligence what Russia said that they had. And the important point here is that if they were trying to influence the election, as President Obama and James Clapper and John Brennan, everybody said they were doing in order to support Donald Trump's election, they would have released the most damning of that information.
Obama and his spy chiefs knew that Putin didn't prefer Trump over Hillary, but they cooked the intelligence to make it look like he did. Obama and his intel spies knew that Putin didn't collude with Trump and that he didn't even direct his people to help Trump win. But they put it out there anyway. In a sense, Barack Obama did exactly what Putin wanted. Undermined Americans' faith in free and fair elections and caused chaos in our country. Barack Obama, the CIA, and the FBI.
I'm shocked.
I'm not.
All stations, clear the air lanes, clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast. Happy Hour News Talk 93.1 FM WACB for a Thursday afternoon. It's just me. For now until 3:30, David Blackman joins us then. We'll tour the Idiocracy.
And here they are.
Yeah. I had to play that clip. I mean, sounds to me like Barack Obama was orchestrating treason or something that could put him in jail. I wonder if he got one of those special pardons. And we should be totally outraged over this, right? We've known it all along. Everybody that listens to this radio station is smarter than that. But I like the way Jesse packaged it up and presented it together. Some days it's very hard to do this job. See, the communists getting their these seats in New York, and then you realize, well, what else are they going to vote for? The people with any brains have left, conservatives have left, and the ones that are embracing socialism have no idea what they're reaching around and hugging. They're going to get a nice surprise. I'm having some pudding that Master Thespian left for me, so I'm not going to put myself on the YouTube feed just yet. So we got that and lots more to talk about with David coming up in about 15 shopping minutes or so here on News Talk. Looking around at some of the other headlines, NFL player arrested on 8 felony charges. Well, that never happens. Lions Terrion Arnold arrested on kidnapping and robbery. This is your off-season regimen, kidnapping and robbery? How does this happen? Don't these professional sports leagues handing out these 10 and sometimes 8 or 9 figure contracts, don't they check these people to see, like, do they have a working brain? I just, with all that money, with all that NFL money, you got nothing better to do but orchestrate a kidnapping. It's unbelievable. Rent's down 1% over the last 12 months. Check your city. And let's see. I don't want to look at a Quinnipiac poll on the Iran war because I don't trust them and people are stupid. So I'll just skip that for now. We'll say this and we'll talk about it with David. The Democrats are self-immolating at such an unbelievable rate. It's breathtaking. That's where the Civil War is going on. We have idiots in the, President Trump goes down to the Capitol Hill to personally appeal to John Thune to get the SAVE Act done. And what does John Thune do? He sends the Senate into recess until July 19th. What an a-hole. They don't care about us. They don't care about what's best for America and America's future as a country. Demanding ID to vote is not a burden. All these, I don't know if I could do that. I don't give any of those people a check for a decent amount of money. They'll find an ID because you'll need to cash it at the bank or get on a plane. And you all know the list of 1,000 things you got to have an ID to do. I even got to present an ID when I check in for healthcare appointments and stuff like that. It's life. Just want to make sure who you are. But to them, it's a burden. Scanning the headlines on the apps. The ugliness of the media towards any Republican, especially one who's actually conservative, like J.D. Vance. The New York Times made a comment on her body-hugging dress. She's pregnant, so it sort of highlights the fact that she's with child. Why wouldn't you want to show that off? But apparently it offends them. A-holes. Supreme Court ruled in Trump's favor on a couple of issues today. We can turn back asylum seekers at the border. That's a big win on protecting immigration. And 4 of our soccer players have been benched for the group finale. That continues tonight. We're playing Turkey, right? We're already going to advance. So I don't know that it's critical, but I don't know what they did or didn't do to get a decision like that. And from FoxNews.com, fighter jets take to the skies after Iran targets cargo ship in Hormuz choke point. Just blown out of the... I thought their Navy was at the bottom of the canal anyway. And gun owners in Hawaii got a big victory from the Supremes today, too. They ruled Hawaii's gun laws unconstitutional. Good. So many people don't understand. It's not for hunting. It's for self-protection. And primarily self-protection from a government that would try to take away your freedoms. How's that working out over in England and all the other places that have confiscated guns? Not too well, last I checked. When you're ready for some great barbecue, we had them in, that was a week ago today already, time flies. The chef from Smoky Notes and talking about the process of making the perfect brisket. that it's literally a 24-hour thing over there. Everything is set to a timer because they want it just right. And their brisket is absolutely sensational. But for all types of barbecue, whether it's chicken, brisket, turkey, pulled pork, or chicken, you can't go wrong. Oh, and by the way, if you need a little beef in your diet, the Smash Burger, which is next up on my personal agenda, is awesome. Raves about the potato twists. They're loaded with cheese, bacon, whatever you want. Pretzel bites, the boudin balls, now that we know how to properly pronounce those, with an amazing array of sauces. They got plates with two sides like pulled chicken and turkey. And their sides in general are like absolutely at the top of the class when you're talking local food with coleslaw, homemade, of course, green beans. We love the cabbage with a Conecuh, potato salad, baked beans, mac and cheese with a kind of an Alfredo base, so thick you got to cut it with a fork. And if you're watching your health side salad, they could do all that for you, too. Smoky Notes is in Lagoon Park Shopping Center. Just follow the aroma right there next to the Petro station on the western side of Northeastern Boulevard. Western side of Northeastern Boulevard. Smoky Notes. You can call, too, at 649-1110 here in the 334. I see we have a call. Good afternoon.
Hey, Greg. It's Michael calling.
Michael.
I just wanted to call and comment on what you're talking about right now. I listened to y'all last week when you were talking to Justin and Chef. And I've got to tell you that Monte Cristo sandwich is to die for.
Yeah, and only $14.99.
If you have not tried it, give that Monte Cristo a try. You will not be disappointed.
That and the Smash Burger. And they fed Pamela and me like kings and queens last week, too, during the show.
Guys, I appreciate it. Enjoyed the show. You have a great afternoon.
Thank you. All right. I am not moving at warp speed today. A little bit of a challenging day, nothing too terrible. Let's get, wow, there's some stuff happening. Here's Skipper with your reverse traffic.
Well, if you are on Taylor Road traveling from East Chase over to AUM, we have an accident right lane of Taylor right at the bridge over I-85. They had a wrecker there. They were trying to get that one moved in case they're still there. Use caution in left lane. Also, an accident on Chantilly Parkway at Ryan Road. Gilmer Avenue at Barnett Boulevard had a minor accident there. Please watch out for emergency vehicles. All these locations, we will keep you updated. Davis Store and Sash is your trusted source for quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials when you mention this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
We're talking with Dr. Clark McLemore at McLemore Dentistry, and this is where I went a few years ago to get my smile reworked. Dr. McLemore, you have a great offer for our listeners.
We've got all of our design and manufacturing in-house. So what that means is if you come to us, we have the entire process under our control, providing top quality prosthetics and restorations. And that really impacts our patients' smiles, and it makes us feel a lot better that we're doing the absolute best we can for folks.
Visit drmclemordentistry.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. 5 reasons to get a home inspection before you close on a home. Homeowners buying their first home or their 10th home still need a home inspection performed. First, you will find out firsthand the true condition of the home, the age and state of the heating and air, the roof, electrical, and plumbing as of the date of inspection. Second, it may give you the ability to renegotiate repairs that the seller will end up paying for before closing. Third, if the results show that the repairs would be too costly, then you can opt out of the contract without losing your earnest money. Fourth, the age and state of the systems will indicate what shape the rest of the house might be in and give you the option to opt out of the transaction or renegotiate terms. Fifth, knowing what needs to be done to the house will allow you the opportunity to update the home properly to your taste. For a list of the best home inspectors in the area, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 334-221-2883 or 551-0225. The Goodson Group.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut.
When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at Viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is what happens when people refuse to let the media get away with.
Aimed as an American, that the Trump administration is posting these flashy videos celebrating successful military strikes. Are you ashamed? Sheila.
Hey, Clarissa, Iranian here, and on behalf of 90% of Iranians in Iran and 99% of the diaspora, pardon my language, but shut the F up and sit down, and all the other liberal white women like you can do the same.
This is what happens when people refuse to let the media get away with their lies.
CNN's Clarissa Ward says she's ashamed as an American that the Trump administration.
And I'll bet you've seen her on a total of 0 legacy media outlets. You ever think to talk to somebody from Iran to see how they might feel about it? Probably not. And by the way, part of the strategy in a war is when your military is doing a good job and taking out the targets and not killing innocent civilians everywhere. The people need to know that. That's why that's done. But the Democrats, no, we don't. This is ugly. Good Lord, what has happened to these people? See how the market did today? Because Brent was up. Good. Well, he'll have all the whys and wherefores on that force at 5:15. He's with Invista Advisors. If you'd like to get an account started, it's never too late. Never too late. Many of their best clients started after age 50. I'm almost there. I'm closer than you think. Anyway, up next, David Blackman as we begin our tour of the great and never-ending American idiocracy.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A woman is fighting for her life following a Wednesday morning fire in Montgomery. Fire rescue crews arrived at the home on Alta Road about 2 a.m. where heavy smoke and flames were visible through the roof of the house. An unidentified woman inside the home was rescued and transported to a local hospital in critical condition. A project to develop the Maxwell Corridor off I-65 in Montgomery will be receiving federal funding. $4 million for the Maxwell Capital Gateway project was approved on Wednesday. The federal funding will go towards infrastructure improvements from Washington Ferry Road to the rear gate entrance at Maxwell. The Pride of Prattville Marching Band is preparing to participate in the 250th Salute to Independence Parade in Philadelphia. The band is scheduled to perform July 4th and will march directly in front of Independence Hall. Prattville's marching band will represent the state of Alabama in the largest Independence Day parade in the nation. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyta and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
Get ready, Central Alabama, the biggest watermelon festival yet. It's happening Saturday, June 27th at Sweet Creek Farm Market. They're celebrating America's 250th birthday and all things watermelon with free admission, over 100 arts and crafts vendors, a watermelon eating contest, entertainment for the kids, food trucks, and family fun around every corner. It's Sweet Creek Farm Market's biggest arts and crafts festival ever, and admission is free. Saturday, June 27th, 10 to 4 on Highway 231 and Pike Road. Come hungry, bring the family, and celebrate summer at Sweet Creek Farm Market's Watermelon Festival.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On the radar, any showers this evening will be very, very sparse. Not many. And they will fade out. Overnight low temperature, very muggy, 73. Tomorrow and Friday will be even hotter with the high temperatures in the lower 90s both days, good bit of sunshine, and mostly dry for the next few days. There are triple-digit heat indices in our future, especially by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the low to mid-90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
If we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion,
Come on, try getting it out.
Ding, 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 bong. That's all, folks. Welcome to the world of Idiocracy with Greg and experts, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest and tune to the best. The tales of Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy. It's the tales of Idiocracy.
Hey, there's one of the Idiocracy's great all-time leaders, Howard Dean, as we welcome him somewhere in Texas. I think America's savviest political blogger, an oil and gas industry expert, good family man, Dodger fan. We can forgive that. Please welcome, put your hands together for the one and only David Blackman.
Hey, howdy, y'all.
And what could be one of our final shows together? I'm being a drama queen. I was told today, well, I've known I've had an aneurysm in my abdomen for a while.
Uh-huh.
Well, here's the deal. The aneurysm is getting bigger.
Leon's getting larger.
That too. So I heard today that they may want to go in and take it out.
No.
So just in case, I am a human time bomb now, and but I got to tell you, man, this has been the best part. This has been the best part of doing this afternoon show, man, is the fun we have together on Monday and Thursday. I'm going to actually see if this is all going to happen, if we can do this, because you have some time off coming up.
Yeah.
And it would be, I'm going to ask the doctor. David Blackman is going to be going out of town and unavailable. Can you do this while he's away? And that way I won't miss any shows with you.
There you go.
That would make my day if we could make it work that way at 3:35. Let's begin. You know, the midterms, for all practical purposes, are eons away yet. I still think my gut tells me, and my gut usually is right, because my gut was not telling me good things on election night in 2020, that we're going to maintain the House and the Senate, not because we have such great people there, but the Democrats are in the middle of a catastrophic confusion as to who they are. It's really spinning out of control. I saw something funny on Hakeem Jeffries today. He's really having a good time with all this because the same commies that helped him get the minority position now say they want him out. When they take control of Congress, which God forbid should happen, he's worthless anyway. They're all worthless. I mean, it's just a matter of degree of their worthlessness, except we have to, invoke the Fetterman exception.
The Fetterman exception, and he's still borderline, really.
How did you describe him in the blog today? I really loved it. It was the least despicable, or
he's the least objectionable Democrat in the Senate. But you're right. I mean, they're all worthless. Fetterman votes with Schumer 95% of the time, but at least he's willing to call things out that are just absolutely insane in his own party. And what happened in New York, of course, on Tuesday was absolutely insane. The nomination of 3 Islamo-communists to the Congress, one of whom leads an organization whose guiding goal is the complete elimination of Western civilization. What do they call it? Extermination of Western civilization, which is code word for killing the Jews. It's what the Nazis talked about doing to the Jews in the 1930s. And, I don't know how you even swear her into Congress. I mean, the oath of office for Congress says you're going to protect and defend the United States and the U.S. Constitution. Well, if you're going to exterminate Western civilization, I don't think you can swear that oath. So, how's she going to be sworn in?
Are there any safeguards or protections on that? I mean, if you're going to...
I don't know. Surely the president could find a way to try to prevent her from being sworn in, either through the courts or something even more extreme, like putting her under arrest as being a terrorist threat to the country.
I love that.
Which the whole Democratic Party is, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were really being honest about it, we would all agree that the Democrat Party is a terrorist organization today, with Antifa as its armed wing. And, it is a threat to the survival of the country. The whole party has the goal of destroying the Constitution and ending our Republican form of government. That's what the move to abolish the Electoral College is all about. I mean, you can't have this federal system we have without the Electoral College. And but they're so extreme now that even James Carville can't stand to be part of it. So.
Tell me about that. I saw that he said something today that was, he took his mind off Donald Trump long enough to condemn them. What's the gist of that story?
Well, he does these weird recordings from different locations in his house every time. I mean, one time he's in his bedroom, next time he's in his bathroom, then he's in the living room, the kitchen, But they're kind of stream of consciousness videos that he's posting somewhere. I don't know where. I just see clips of them on Twitter. But last night he recorded one saying, I just can't be a part of a party that doesn't recognize these real rights exist. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And, cussing throughout, which we can't do here on the radio. But he's a crazy lunatic himself, but at least there is something he won't tolerate. There is an extreme that he won't just try to apologize away, like Fetterman. Fetterman is not willing to just look the other way, which the party as a whole has done with these radicals for a decade now.
Right.
And they're to the point. This is an existential crisis for the Democrat Party, the establishment, because the first people, these communist Islamo-fascists, I mean, it's quite a collision of philosophies. The first people they want to eliminate are the establishment Democrats. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always the people who try to look the other way and tolerate and be, have empathy are the first ones that are going to get taken out. And so they're suddenly, I think some of these establishment Dems are waking up and thinking, oh, they hate us more than they hate the Republicans.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that all these years. And so anyway, yeah, that's why Hakeem Jeffries is in a panic. It's why Chuck Schumer's in a panic. And it's really, I think, going to kill them in the midterms. And I'm like you, I think the Republicans will retain control of both houses for what that's worth in the Senate, where, the Republican conference is as full of skunks and snakes as the Democrats are.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much good that does us.
That SOB Thune. The president went to Capitol Hill, am I correct, to talk to him, assert him as a leader, and get the SAVE Act passed. He's playing his card. He's not going to sign any of this other legislation until they get that done. And Thune sends everybody home.
For 19 days. Yeah.
That is so flagrantly disgusting.
But then their talking point is, well, we can't do a standing filibuster because we just don't have time. And I'm going to be on vacation for 19 days. Well, that's 19 days. You could be doing this, forcing the Democrats to do a standing filibuster. Let's see if they can last 19 days. I don't think they could last 5 days.
No.
But these people are spoiled children. Tom Tillis, John Cornyn, Bill Cassidy, these men, who we thought were men, have revealed themselves to be nothing but spoiled toddlers, basically, mentally, and throwing their fits because they didn't get reelected and, had to give up their seat of privilege and all the growth and millions of dollars in income that has created for them.
I love the fact that President reamed out Cassidy of Louisiana. He still obviously got the job until the term ends. And Cassidy's, like you said, acting like one of these infantile Democrats. You lost for all the right reasons because you just didn't support the agenda that the majority of people in Louisiana and America want. And you got what you had coming to you. Now you're mad. Now you're going to act like a baby. This is how you want to go out. Just seems totally counterproductive for him personally, and of course for the people of Louisiana and ultimately America. He made me lose my seat. If he's so unpopular as they all insist, why is he winning all of these victories? And his endorsements are getting rid of people that we don't want.
Well, exactly. And it's because the polls are fake. The polls are as corrupt as the news media. Rasmussen, he's still sitting right there at 44%. And meanwhile, you get an Ipsos Reuters poll that has him at 33, and a CBS poll has him at 35, and a Fox poll has him at 37. But Rasmussen has been solid all along between 48 and 44, and he's at 44, which is better than Obama was at his midterm elections, either one of them. And I just think now with prices going down, all prices going down, inflation's going to disappear as any kind of an issue.
Yeah.
And food prices are going to moderate, and we're going to have a good midterm.
Yeah. This is the thing. I've always believed these recent polling numbers, whether it's 33 or 44, who knows, are completely tied to gas prices, which are now coming down at a level where people have to say, hey, gas prices are coming down 80 cents at a lot of the stations here.
$2.98 is the place where I fill up today. So
$2.98?
$2.98 at the Quick Trip.
I like it when it starts with a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we can expect it to moderate further because the price of what we're buying now was based on an oil per barrel price that was higher, right?
Yeah, what they're processing now is oil that was produced 2 or 3 weeks ago when the price was between $100 and $94 a barrel. Well, today Brent's at 73. So you've got a lot of running room for prices to go down over the next 2 to 3 weeks because eventually they're going to start the refineries are going to start processing the $73 oil, and that's when gasoline prices will reflect that at the pump. So, it's just how the market works. The president got all excited about it early yesterday morning. He just can't resist putting out posts, even on stuff he doesn't really understand. And he doesn't really understand how the oil and gasoline markets work. And I think he embarrassed himself. And
yeah, he made a comment about price gouging or something.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
We've had, so just so everyone knows, if you're not familiar with me, I started in the oil industry in 1979. My first job was to become an expert on the damn windfall profit tax in the oil business. And I've been around a long time, and I've seen these congressional hearings over price gouging brought almost exclusively by Democrats for half a century now, almost. And they all end with a call to investigate the industry, big oil, for price gouging. And you know how many times anyone has been prosecuted for price gouging on gasoline or oil prices in the industry? 0. Because they're not.
We lost you. It froze up, or
Can
maybe our
you hear me,
internet.
Greg? Can you hear me now?
Hang on 1 second. Trying to.
I don't know what just
close
happened.
the ad, stupid. All right, I think we got you back.
We there?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So they're not price gouging, and it's how the market works. It's, prices rise fast and go down slow, and it's just how retailers price their gasoline at the pump. The big oil companies don't own the gas stations where you fill up. They all sold off their retail operations years and years ago because they're low margin operations. And you go to your convenience store like a Quick Trip or Buc-ee's, and they're selling gas to get you into the store, okay? And they're all competing with each other on price. And many of them, Buc-ee's regularly actually loses money on their gasoline prices just to get you in the store to buy all that other stuff that has a very high
$12
profit
sandwich.
margin. Well,
But it's
$12
good.
sandwich. But you know where they make most of their money? Number one is cigarettes, but and other smoking products. But number 2 is soft drinks, because you're going to pay $1.79 for a 32-ounce Diet Coke, for which the all-in cost to that convenience store is less than 10 cents.
Yeah.
And they sell hundreds and hundreds of those every day. So,
And it's worth it.
What the racket is.
I'm a fountain soda connoisseur, sir. I know where the best fountain mixes are all
Me
over
too.
Montgomery.
And
I'm
the
gonna write a
best
book.
ice, right?
Yes.
The ice is the key. The ice
Absolutely.
is the key. Yeah.
It absolutely is.
And that's where Buc-ee's kills everybody, is the ice and soft drinks.
We, by the way, do take calls while David Blackman is with us. We do not have a producer today, so we'll be taking them on the fly. 272-9228 here in the 334, and we have a call right now. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Hey, this is 84. How you doing, Greg?
84. What a nice surprise. This is one of our longtime great guys.
Hey, David.
Hey.
Hey, absolutely just love every Monday or Tuesday or whatever day you're on. I love.
Me too.
You.
Me three.
Oh yeah, I like hearing myself. Me four. I like hearing myself on the radio as well. But I had texted in a question a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not so sure that you're correct on it. And this is a big jump to say you're not correct on something.
Well, it wouldn't be the first
I
time.
asked about the Keystone. I asked about the Keystone Pipeline and why that Trump has not restarted building the Keystone Pipeline, and you said it was because of land rights and so forth and so on. And I'll give you a little bit of background. I've got a piece of property that is 136 acres that has a ditch dug through it from a solar farm that's feeding to, I don't have any solar panels, but is just for the wires that go to the transformer station.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we had to sign a 25-year lease to them for the right-of-way. They have no rights to our property other than to get on there. And so why is it? Is this terrible government that they had a year-by-year lease on all the land, or are you mistaken about that the land didn't have a 25 to 99 year lease on it where the pipeline was running?
So yeah, they had long-term right-of-way agreements in place for that pipeline. But my understanding is that was all ended when Joe Biden rescinded their permit and shut them down. Okay. And so they would have to go back through all the process of re-entering into those agreements and getting those permits. But the real problem with Keystone, though, even worse, is the fact that after Biden abrogated what had already amounted to an $8 billion investment on the part of TransCanada, they'd already spent that much on the pipeline. And with $4 billion more to go, TransCanada, to save a little money, pulled all the pipe up out of the ground. They'd already laid pipe all the way to the border. All they needed to build was the cross-border piece of the pipeline and interconnect with the Canada piece of it. Well, they took all the pipe up out of the ground and applied it to other projects. And so now, to revive that pipeline, you'd have to go through at least some of the permitting process again. Maybe it's not all of it, but you'd have to go through a years-long permitting process again. And then you're going to have to reinvest billions of dollars, putting more pipe in the ground. And by the time you can do all of that, you're going to be past the 2028 election. And we may elect a damn Democrat again in 28, okay?
Yeah.
Well, any Democrat now who gets into office is going to say you can't build that pipeline. So I just can't see any corporation in America or Canada who's going to be willing to take that risk. Maybe somebody will, but you know, you always have this issue now because of what Biden did. My view is he unconstitutionally abrogated a permit that had already been issued by the federal government by executive fiat, and no one did anything about it. Well, I just don't know why any company could ever trust the U.S. government on a permit like that again. I just don't think you can take that financial risk.
Now, David, that makes sense. Is the government advocated authority that they didn't really have and is enforcing it over a private company, and they just said, "Screw you, we'll do something else." So
yeah.
Now that makes sense. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, because TransCanada just decided. But go ahead.
Oh, we had a freeze.
Uh-oh, did we lose him? I mean, TransCanada just decided.
Does it make sense but it makes
No.
sense when you're talking about the government.
Yeah, right.
We're
exactly.
having some
yeah.
freezing of the internet.
Yeah. Am I
Go,
on a
84, go ahead.
delay?
I was just the last thing I was going to say is that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense because it's the damn government. So sure, that's what they're going to do is something stupid like that. So,
Yeah, I totally
but anyhow,
agree with that.
That kind of clears that up in my head.
Ain't it amazing?
Thank you, David.
Thank you, 84. Good to hear from you, buddy. As always.
Am I on a
don't-
big long delay or something?
No, we're talking
Oh,
in real
okay.
time. You're getting me back in
Okay.
real time too? Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a, it's always an adventure.
Well, with the internet, you just never know. Yeah.
It's you know what? I think given that at 3:55, why don't we take our first break here? We'll get into the next hour a little earlier, around 4:05 or so. Will that work
Okay.
for you, sir?
Good deal.
Because we're just getting started with David Blackman. To subscribe to David's excellent work for political analysis unlike anybody else, and it's always honest, and he calls out the rhinos and the Republicans who deserve a spanking. Visit David Blackman, one word, davidblackman.substack.com. And for his energy expertise, and you just heard a good sample of that in our conversation with 84, blackman.substack.com. And David, we'll see you in a few.
All right.
Okay, at 3:56, as always, lots of folks planning travel over the 4th of July weekend, which means you still have plenty of time. I mean, it's going to be here quick. Fastest period of time within the calendar year to me is from Memorial Weekend to 4th of July. And before you travel, I can't recommend highly enough that you stop at one of Don Duncan's 4 locations and get your car the works. Ask them for the preventive maintenance to take a look at the things that can possibly break down on the road. They'll give you a heads up on anything that they may recommend you take care of now, or something, when you get back, we may need to take a look at your brakes another 3,000-4,000 miles. I mean, they're going to tell you the truth, whatever it is. And it's great to have a go-to partner. So if the check engine light comes on or you're showing a real low tire pressure, you know exactly where to go with 4 locations. Doug Mitchell and his group on Bell Road, just north of Vaughan. Downtown at 408 Madison. On Mount Duncan, that's the big hill behind the McDonald's on Highway 14 where Young Mitch is. And a great group at Cusada in Millbrook. All 4 with wholesale price tires. Any parts your car may require, right down to the windshield wipers, and customer service that accommodates your schedule and not theirs. Look for Don Duncan All-American Auto and Tire on Facebook. Learn about the VIP Club and earn yourself a free service. 3:57, Skipper to the top of the hour.
Well, traffic busy building this afternoon, and we have what authorities are calling a moderate crash. This is going to be on East South Boulevard. If you're traveling from Troy Highway over to Woodley Road, just before Woodley should be in your lanes. Could be some lane blockage. We are seeing a backup of traffic due to that accident. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. Just busy building traffic everywhere else. If you've got less than perfect credit, McKenna Nissan may have just the plan for you. Talk to David Martin, and he'll do everything possible to have you driving today. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
And this is a painting of my grandfather, the only one he ever had made. Sometime, take a close look around your house. The sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's. If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of Current Safe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe. Oh, my daughter's second grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this. Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085 for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe. Know it's safe.
Now you'll be safe with Current Safe.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
We're doing the news on time at 4?
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
No.
News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Secretary of State Rubio says the State Department and the Pentagon will work together to provide humanitarian aid to the people affected by dual earthquakes in Venezuela. Powerful back-to-back quakes struck Venezuela on Wednesday. It caused widespread damage, collapsing buildings, sending panicked residents into the streets. Tragically, close to 200 people are confirmed dead and another 200 or so still missing in the rubble. The search continues. The quake also damaged the country's main airport, Simón Bolívar International Airport. It had to be shut down as a result. The U.S. economy grows at a stronger than expected 2.1 annual % pace in the first quarter, a modest but still solid pickup. That's up from just 0.5% growth late last year during the government shutdown. On Wall Street at the closing bell, the Dow was up by just about 72 points. The NASDAQ struggled off 118. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, You can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at AlabamaSheriffsYouthRanches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
From weddings and concerts to cookouts and construction sites, TT Porta Toilets has been serving Central Alabama for over 30 years. Whether you need standard portable toilets with wash stations or upscale restroom trailers for special events, the Tierce family has the right solution for every occasion. So when you're planning your next big event or project, make it easy on yourself. Call 285-5513 or visit ttportatoilet.com. TT Porta Toilets. Clean, convenient, dependable.
Traffic and weather together, then back to David Blackman.
We have an accident on East South Boulevard. This is going to be right before Woodley. If you're coming over from Troy Highway to Woodley, should be in your lane. Also got a new accident. I want to thank Douglas Butler, our Sky Watcher, for getting in touch with us about this one. Highway 14 at 143 in Elmore. 3 vehicles involved in that one. Please be safe out there this afternoon. Traffic is busy and building. Your future starts this fall. Trenton State Community College is now enrolling for fall 2026. There are many courses, 2-year degrees, and certificates to choose from, and financial aid available. Register today. Go to trentumstate.edu for more information. Buckle up with Trey Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you got a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. On the radar, any showers this evening will be very, very sparse. Not many. And they will fade out. Overnight low temperature, very muggy 73. Tomorrow and Friday will be even hotter with the high temperatures in the lower 90s both days. Good bit of sunshine and mostly dry for the next few days. There are triple-digit heat indices in our future, especially by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the low to mid-90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is CNN.
Hillary, what are your outlooks on recreational marijuana and how does it make you feel?
Well, I have to say, I think we need to be very clear about the benefits of marijuana use. I don't think we've done enough research yet. I think that it works. Extraordinary.
Wow. I just forgot how brilliant she was. I had to have that moment. We're coming up on the anniversary of July 5th, which is the date that James Comey in his round face listed 560-something violations of national security committed by Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, but said no reasonable prosecutor, he left out the part about who wanted to live, would pursue a case against her. On the other hand, it's become very clear with Tulsi, as she exits DNI, that Barack Obama masterminded the Russian collusion thing.
Yes,
maybe the greatest abuse of government ever by any president, senator, anybody elected to office. And I'm wondering, can anything come of this? Or do the pardons get in the way?
The president wants to take a bunch of Justice Department lawyers and have them spend a couple of years wasting their time investigating gas price gouging. And so, I mean, if that's his priorities and not prosecuting the wrongdoers who have tormented him personally for the last 10 years, then so be it. But we see zero happening at DOJ to punish anyone for any of this. So I'm just expecting nothing.
Well, certainly it hasn't been very important to the legacy media, any of what Tulsi's been, dropping on her exit against Fauci. I didn't see that story get touched by legacy media. And, I really think that should be the priority. As you mentioned,
it should have been the priority since day one. But, at least Todd, what's his name, the current attorney general, who's
Blanche.
Thank you, Todd Blanche, is prosecuting all these fraudsters in the various states. So
Yes.
they're doing a good job of that. 545 announced this week, with hundreds of ongoing investigations and prosecutions happening. They threw the terrorists here in Texas that attacked all the ICE agents and killed one of them last year. Threw 9 of them in prison for a total of 450 years. So that's good.
Awesome.
And so a lot of good stuff is happening at DOJ since Blanche took over. But what we're not seeing happening is, going after Obama or any of the dozens of scumbags who mounted that 4-year-long coup d'etat effort during Trump's first term. So I guess nothing's going to happen to any of them.
Maybe that giant Klingon prison he's just unveiled on Chicago's lakefront is equipped to double as a getaway place, a safe house for him in case they do come after him. He can go there and it looks impenetrable.
It does. It looks like it could withstand an atom bomb. It's.
But boy, doesn't it bring
a piece of architecture?
When you look at that building, doesn't it make you think 2 words? Hope and change.
Hope and change. Hope and change.
It's just such an inspiring sight. It looks like a construction project leftover. Like we finished building what we were building, and here's what we didn't end up using, and it's just horrible. It's just a disgusting sight. Our number is 272-9228 as we continue to explore the never-ending American idiocracy. You make a great point. As I've said before, David calls out the Republicans who are worthless. And sadly, there's more of them than I want to believe.
Yeah.
But he is fighting hard for the SAVE Act. And it just annoys me no end. And he made the personal pitch to Thune to be a leader. Show us the way. You'll get all the credit. I just want it passed. Do you think his tactic, though, of not signing any other legislation as a means of leverage will work? I mean, I know the Democrats would.
Yeah, if he'll stand firm on it. But, what we see with President Trump, God bless him, is he's always looking to make the deal, right? And so, there's going to be a compromise at some point. They'll offer him some other piece of legislation as a olive branch, and he'll make the deal and go on because he doesn't have the attention span. I just think he doesn't have the attention span to stay on point and really fight something like this out, because this will take weeks and months even. He's got to be willing to tell them no repeatedly over and over again until they give up. And I just don't think that's in his nature.
It's like they're school children, and here's the thing that they apparently cannot bring themselves to acknowledge: that even with all the controversies, the war, the rising gas prices, etc., he still has clout. People may be mad at
Big
him,
time, yeah.
because they're paying more for gas and all that. But on the other hand, what rational human being wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon?
Yeah.
Not even their friends in the Middle East want that to happen. So they're on our side.
Yeah, but these senators are all upset because, that just kind of disrupts their way of life, okay? Doing something like that and taking an absolute stand against evil in the world isn't what they're there to do. They're there to make money. John Thune is there to make money, okay? And he's just there to go along, get along, do things a little slower that the Democrats want to do, but just do them slower and go back and feed a line of BS to the people in South Dakota that he's stopping this and stopping that. But in the meantime, he's getting all this money from all these lobbyists and all these grifts and all these insider trading deals and real estate investments that all of them benefit from. And Tommy Tuberville, is one of the few honest ones that's been up there. And so even that war, even though none of them like Iran, just as a matter of philosophy, they don't favor anything that Iran's done, but it disrupts their way of life. And when you look at someone like Lisa Murkowski related to the SAVE Act, well, she's in office because there isn't any voter ID and there is no control over the elections integrity in Alaska. That's why she won last time. So of course she's opposed to it, So we've elected a class of white collar criminals to populate the Senate, the United States Senate. That's what we have on the Republican side, is a bunch of white collar criminals, about 2/3 of them probably. And so it's just unfortunate that that's happened, but it is what it is.
I love this identity crisis. One of the Democrats, Seth Moulton, his name matches what he wants for America, us to be molten.
Yeah.
Had to dodge a reporter's question about his endorse for Plattner in Maine. So they've got a Nazi running in Maine for the Senate, all these new communists coming in.
And a Christian who hates Christianity running for the Senate in Texas.
Oh, yeah. I saw something hilarious about I think it was in your blog, actually.
Yeah.
What a piece of work that guy is. What's the latest polling with him, with Tallarico and Paxton?
Well, the most recent polls have Paxton up by 3 now. And
3?
I've been told that both candidates' internals have Paxton already up by at least 5. And it's just going to get worse from here for Tallarico because he's a freak and he isn't going to get elected in Texas. And in a way, it's a little unfortunate that he is starting to collapse so soon, because the ideal thing would have been for the Democrats to flood about $150 million of money that they could dedicate to candidates who might win into Texas to back Tallarico, and then have him lose by 3 to 5% in November, like what happened with Beto O'Rourke in 2018 against Ted Cruz. But I think what's happening right now is going to kill all that California and New York money that would have come into this race, and they're going to, dedicate all that money to other candidates who might have a chance to win. So they probably won't waste quite as much money in Texas as they otherwise would have.
Let's talk about another New York Democratic commie, the nominee Claire Valdez, to nationalize the airlines. What a swell idea.
Yeah, well, she's a communist, so of course she wants to nationalize the airlines. She wants to nationalize everything.
She's got a great name for it, Aeroflot. What could go wrong? We'll call it Aeroflop.
I listened to part of that interview she did, and she's talking about, it's so terrible right now. We're in these cramped seats.
Yes.
We don't get good drinks. The food's terrible. The service isn't good. And so we want to nationalize it, and that'll make it all better. What, you think a government airline is going to do any better than American and United do? For crying out loud.
It'll bring new concepts like benched seating, or
bench
festival seating.
Yeah, and about a third of the number of flights, and lines out the door of the terminals waiting to get through security, and planes crashing every day, and that's what a government airline would bring us. So anyway, but this is, again, as we've talked about previously, every generation of Americans, we've got to go through this experiment with socialism in this country every 20 to 25 years. It's like clockwork. And it'd be great if we could avoid it, but these people, those three people got elected in New York City boroughs Tuesday night in an election in which only had 7% turnout.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, an unusually high participation among young people in the Democratic primary.
Right.
So, it's the young people who have been most recently brainwashed in college who are electing these people. And they'll probably win in November, all three of them, because these are heavily Democrat districts. But if you nominate somebody like that for the presidency, it's one thing to win a Democrat primary in Brooklyn, and it's quite another thing to win the national election in America. And so if the Democrats continue going down this road, it will destroy them as a party. And I think more and more of them are starting to wake up to it, like Seth Moulton, who probably in his private moments has some moderate impulses, and doesn't really like Graham Plattner, doesn't really like supporting a Nazi who, it may also be a communist somehow, which is weird. But they've just been so afraid to alienate that part of their base that they've just gone along with all this nonsense, and now they're the ones that are the targets. So I have no sympathy for any of them at all. It's great.
I heard the turning point in those New York commie wins were young white people.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
What are they learning in school?
Well, they're going to Ivy League universities in New York, NYU, and Columbia, and all these Northeastern schools, and all the professors are communists. And, these are indoctrination factories. The DEI departments philosophy permeates everything. And so they are, these are brainwashing institutions. I use the term brainwashing not as a joke. I'm serious. These are brainwashing our children. If you send your children to any of these universities, you're sending your child to be brainwashed. You have to be careful as a parent. I'm not talking about SEC schools. I'm talking about these New York Northeastern universities. Don't let your kids go to an Ivy League school, because they will come back an alien being that you don't recognize anymore. You have to be careful as a parent.
Did you see the story? I forget, she was with the Wall Street firm. It might have been J.P. Morgan. She was the director of DEI for them. She was caught on camera dumping a New York Knicks garbage can into the street. This is the group that cares, right? They're better than us. Really? Dumps the garbage and steals the garbage can, got caught, and got fired. But when you see her, she looks just like the worst person you could possibly want to see in your office.
Well, of course, she's a slob.
I'm the DEI director.
Right. And you know why she got caught is because she's so stupid. She had one of her friends video her doing that and post it on social media. That's how stupid this director of DEI at JP Morgan, that's what a stupid human being this is. At one of the nation's biggest banks, Oh, shit.
I'm going to put her on the screen for a second.
Have I frozen again?
Hang on one second.
Sure.
momentarily. Hang on, I'm waiting for the image. There it is. No, that's both of us. The internet is messing with us, David, and I apologize.
Yes, it is.
There she is, in all her enormous glory.
I bet she's
Look at
got
the
a
face. Can you imagine? Oh, without question, they're lining up like crazy to take her out to 2 dinners at a time. These ads, God, the New York Post is awful. But look at that. Can you imagine having to work at J.P. Morgan and walk into her office and deal with?
And let her
She is
indoctrinate you.
a
Yeah.
perfect spokesperson for the Lazy Maroon.
It-
Yeah,
it's
she
just-
previously served as executive director of diversity, equity, and inclusion at a website called The Infatuation, which Chase Bank acquired for whatever reason. We have a call. Shall we see who's on the phone?
Sure.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Sure. Yeah.
I can't hear.
Well, in her case, that does look like maybe she needed it as a lunch sack.
She looks as big as a bear.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But geez,
Going into hibernation.
the absolute lack of judgment. I mean, doesn't anybody know that almost anything you do in a public space is being videotaped by something or someone? But in this case, she asked her friend to do it, right, David?
Yeah, she had one of her traveling companions. I don't know if it's a friend, but a companion.
If you're watching the background, the people's reaction to their faces, they were pissed off big time when she was doing it, and they were yelling at her. I'm surprised somebody didn't grab the garbage can out of her hand and make her pick it up.
Yeah. Clunk her over the head with it. That would have been nice. I wonder what she's going to be doing for work now. Thanks for the call, Soldier Boy. Good afternoon. Who's this on the phone at 272-9228?
Hey, Gregory, this is Eric. Good afternoon.
Hey, Larry, what's up?
Eric.
Eric, sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Greg. I appreciate you taking my call, you and your guest. But, you know, something that, I'm going to shift gears, like you say, really, whatever's on my mind. But, hell, it's, I want to tell you something here about all these damn laws that Elizabeth Warren and all of them. You know, you don't need ID, but yet you got to go and to go through the airports, you better have a valid ID, and whatever.
Yeah.
What they need to do is, when they start voting in this day and time, if you can't have no more than a 3rd grade education, you're not allowed to vote. That's that damn simple, because a lot of these people don't even know who in the hell they're voting for. Marion Barry, mayor of D.C., was convicted, caught on video, and damn some people up there didn't put him right back up.
Yes, they did. And that's very true, because here's the problem, and I'm just suggesting this as a possibility. We are graduating people from high school who can't read at a 3rd grade level. So a diploma wouldn't be a very good, to be intelligent enough to vote. That's one of the problems with that concept. And of course, they'll call it poll taxes. I mean, the Democrats want to lower the voting age to 14.
Oh, you damn right.
Because they've invested so much in America by that point in their lives. Yeah, why not? I'm sorry, we're tight for time. I got to run, but I appreciate the call. Some big decisions in the Supreme Court today. It looks like Hawaii is going to be compelled to honor the Second Amendment.
Yeah. So Hawaii's got a Supreme Court that has this very interesting philosophy that it can just ignore the laws that the rest of us have to follow in the Constitution, because their state has the spirit of aloha. Literally, their state Supreme. That illusion.
I wanted a close up of you. You're there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So their Supreme Court literally ruled that they didn't have to honor the Second Amendment to the Constitution because of the spirit of aloha makes Hawaii different. Well, sorry to pop that bubble, Hawaii, but you're a state, one of 50 states. You're not an independent nation anymore, and you guys voted that way. You wanted to come into the Union in the 1950s. What was it, 59, I guess? And when you did that, you became subject to all the same laws and constitutional amendments that the rest of us are. And Spirit of Aloha is great. It's wonderful. I love Hawaii. I've been there twice. Love to go back again. People are great, but that isn't in the Constitution. Sorry. So it's hilarious. It's just hilarious.
Maybe they'll start making our agreements with the 57 states kind of like baseball contracts, where you can opt out of certain things that your state just doesn't agree with.
Well, they'd have to be careful because Texas would probably be the first state to opt out. But there are a lot of people in this state who are tired of this crap.
That would really like to just be independent, right?
You betcha. I'm one of them, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not favoring any kind of secessionist movement, but it's just, I don't know how we can continue to peacefully coexist, frankly,
not with what's going
people
on.
Who just don't value anything America values. And at some point, we're going to have a solution to that. And because we're not going to bring it to a head. The left is going to bring it to a head. The left is the violence in this country.
Yes, they are.
And they will bring this to a head. They're not kidding when they say they want to end this Republican form of government through the sword if necessary. That's not a joke to them. You should take them deadly seriously when they write and say things like that, because that is always the nature of the far political left. And that aspect of the Democratic Party's base is growing very rapidly. And it's being churned out of our colleges and universities every year, thousands and thousands more people who think that way. And so something's got to stop that eventually, or we're going to lose the country. And I mean, it's hard to see how it all holds together in the long run.
I know. Listeners frequently bring up, nobody wants a civil war, but at some point, it almost seems inevitable. And this time, once again, it's the Democrats that want the slavery of their big government. Everybody will be subject to choices made for them by a government as opposed to having the freedom to make their own. And so many don't understand.
National airline, yeah.
What's interesting, I wonder how that will affect my Delta miles.
Yeah.
What's fascinating right now, and we're going to take a break here, but the amazing love for America, the freedom, the air conditioning, the refills, all the little touches that we take for granted on a daily basis that our people from other countries are going crazy for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And that has been an unexpected benefit from the World Cup folks visiting town. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break here for 1819 News, some traffic, Rich's forecast. Our guest is David Blackman. He's with us on Monday and Thursdays, and you can find him online, his political analysis, the campaign update, and more at davidblackman.substack.com. And I urge you, especially given what we've seen and been through with energy issues, to take a look at his blog on that. That's where he spent his career, blackman.substack.com. Here's a call at the last second. Let's see if we can get them on before we break. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Yes, this is Oscar. I just heard what you guys said about the state. No one state can live on its own without the entire 50 states with the government, the finances, the education systems, and just the way the U.S. has been built up over since the Civil War. So give me some insight. I'm going to hang up on how do these people think a state, I'm from New Jersey. Let's say a state like New Jersey, if they succeeded or wanted to be independent, how can they survive on their own? No natural resources that someone would buy from them. No imports or major exports that they can afford from another country. And where would they go with their military? They National Guard, Air Force Guard. They don't have a Marine Guard. So explain this to me over the radio. And I'm about to hang up. How could a state even?
Well, I don't think New Jersey could.
No, I don't know.
We got about 20% of the military in this country in Texas. 20% of the military bases in Texas. New Jersey couldn't do it. Of course not. No blue state could do it other than California. California could probably do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how many states could survive if they even decided to become their own independent structure? I'm going to hang
Not
up with
many.
you guys.
All right, thank you for the call. No, he's raising an interesting point. We've heard this
it's
before.
a good point, yeah.
Secession was something that was talked about very openly during the first term of Barack Obama when he made it clear where his agenda was going. And Texas was sort of our beacon at that time because we heard from the big state of Texas just how unhappy they were with the agenda that was being put forth.
Yeah. It was so anti oil and gas industry, which is a big part of our state. And, people were upset about that. I'm not advocating for secession. Somebody said something about, well, if there was just the ability to opt out. And I said, well, yeah, Texas probably be among the first to do that if you could just opt out. Right, because it's hard to see how we can continue to peacefully coexist with inherently violent people like these people are. They are inherently violent and they advocate for violence. This one woman who was elected in New York to the Congress, she participated in the pro-Hamas rally on October 8th, the day after the massacre. She was one of the leaders and organizers of that rally. And now the Democratic Party is going to put her in Congress. Okay, how do we peacefully coexist with people who will do such a thing? I just don't know how this works in the long run. She's just one member, but they want to do this everywhere. This is not an isolated situation anymore. This is the Democratic Party's motivating segment of their voter base now, and that's an incredibly dangerous situation for our country. I can't put it any more bluntly than that.
Let me run a statement by you real quick while it's fresh. Obama says he lives rent-free in Trump's head. I think that's just the opposite.
I think it's just the opposite. I think all of these Democrats, I think it's completely the opposite phenomenon going on.
And Trump has been very coy about the things that Tulsi's been dropping on the illegal acts, the treasonous acts that were committed by him, Comey, Brennan, that whole crowd, to orchestrate the Russia collusion thing. They should all be in jail for that. And that includes our former president. And what the hell? You could put Michelle in the same cell as him if it's a men's prison. It's, I didn't say that. 437. We'll be back with David Blackman in a couple of minutes. Right now, traffic, 1819 News versus forecast.
Well, traffic's definitely building all over the area. We had an accident earlier, a moderate crash on East South Boulevard. If you're traveling from Troy Highway over to Woodley, just before Woodley near the McDonald's. We also had an accident, Highway 143 at Highway 14 in Elmore. 3-vehicle accident there earlier. That one, a minor crash, might be cleared up by now or out of the way. But again, use caution. We'll keep you updated. Thompson Tractor proud to offer the all-new Workhorse Special. Take advantage of 0% financing for up to 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader. Only $75,955. Thompson Tractor, I-85, just past Chantilly Parkway. Buckle up with Jay Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville is revealing more details about what happened at a luncheon at the Senate on Wednesday, where President Trump showed up to speak to Senate Republicans. Tuberville was on Fox News saying it was all about doing what is the right thing for the country.
He spoke up. He called people out. They had a very good conversation back and forth, but people need to be called out. If you're not going to vote for this country, my God, folks, we are in trouble. And President Trump needs help, and we're not giving him 100% the help that he needs. You know, again, I travel the country. If we don't do something with the filibuster and we don't get things passed, it'll be the last time we'll have a Republican president or a Republican Senate or a House. That's how fast this country's going down to communism, and we need to stop it. We can stop it. It's ball's in our court. President Trump said that ball's in your court. I'm here to support you. Let me know if there's anything I can do. But this is what we have to do to save the United States of America from communism. He's exactly right.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
The news cycle can be overwhelming, to say the least. Andrea Tice cuts through all the noise with the Daily Detail from 1819 News, Alabama and national news in just 10 to 15 minutes. What you need to know before you start your day. Find the Daily Detail wherever you get your podcast.
A former guidance counselor at Faith Academy in Mobile has been sentenced to prison. Carrie Meredith will serve 6 months behind bars and 6 months on probation. Meredith was charged with failing to report the sexual abuse of a student at that school. She was a guidance counselor and a mandatory reporter in such cases. The teacher who has been charged in the sexual abuse of that student is Jonathan Sowers. His criminal trial begins this September. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
Hey Montgomery, Thursdays just got a whole lot more refreshing with Thirsty Thursday at Davos Park. Fans can enjoy half-off 16-ounce domestic drafts and souvenir sodas, all while cheering on the Biscuits. It's a perfect way to wind down your week with some baseball, friends, and great deals. For tickets and more information, visit biscuitsbaseball.com or call 323-BALL. Butter up!
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At eBike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. eBike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by eBike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror, and that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
At Sweet Creek Farm Market in Pike Road, you'll find farm fresh, locally grown produce all season long. Alabama tomatoes, Hilton County peaches, sweet corn, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, peas, butter beans, farm fresh eggs, local meat, milk, and so much more. Many of the fruits and vegetables come straight from Sweet Creek Farm's own fields. Visit Sweet Creek Farm Market today, just south of Montgomery on Highway 231. Remember, buy fresh, buy local, buy Sweet Creek Farms.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. On the radar, any showers this evening will be very, very sparse. Not many. And they will fade out. Overnight low temperature, very muggy 73. Tomorrow and Friday will be even hotter with the high temperatures in the lower 90s both days, good bit of sunshine, and mostly dry for the next few days. There are triple-digit heat indices in our future, especially by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the low to mid-90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
As we return to the Idiocracy with David Blackman. David, I want to play this clip by Byron Donalds. He's one of those black senators and congressmen that don't exist in the eyes of Democrats and liberals. No such thing. So I'm going to have to put the audition button down so everybody can hear it, but I wanted to play this today.
The Senate sucks. I'm just going to come out and say it. They suck. This is not hard. 80% of the American people want the Save America Act to pass. Not 80% of Republicans, 80% of the American people. And the only organization that refused to act is the United States Senate. Everybody else is saying common sense things. Let's make sure only Americans are voting in our elections.
I love that guy. But as Ted Cruz, and it took Ted Cruz in that magnificent rant. By the way, I saw Mark Wayne Mullen going at it with the lady with the purple hair. If I can find that clip before the show is over, I'd love to hear that. Did you get a chance to see that clip?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it.
You look at people like that and say, somebody votes for her, this old freak.
Yes, he's been up there for 40 years.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Let's talk about Supreme Court rulings today on immigration and the impact of these. These are significant wins for the president.
There's two of them. The first one was the ruling that in favor of President Trump's policy that asylum seekers can't apply for asylum if they're not already in the United States. That's been the law forever. Biden at least through an executive order, tried to change it, but that's the law. It's how the law reads. It's how every country's asylum law reads. An illegal immigrant can come into the country, and once they're here, then they can go to the first point of entry and apply for asylum. So that's a big deal because, I mean, we've had this thing going on for 4 years where people get to Mexico and they just apply at the U.S. Embassy there in Mexico City or some other point of American consulate in another city through in that way. And then they had the app that was going, the iPhone app that was allowing people to do it on an app. And so it resulted in, millions of people being granted asylum who had no case for being granted asylum. So that's a big ruling. And then the second one was it ended temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of Haitian and Syrian illegal immigrants in this country right now. And so they're all going to get deported. And it's just going to, help with the deportation efforts to stop overwhelming our social programs with all these illegal immigrants. So it's a really good day for the Trump administration. And of course, the three communists on the Supreme Court all voted against all of them.
I wish I had more time. I would love to have read their reasoning and voting against that. Did it involve feelings or?
It did, and fairness and compassion and empathy and suicidal empathy, as many people call it now. I mean, that's how our country's being undermined from within. So, the law is what the law is. And if Congress wants to change the law, then they can change the law. That's how our constitutional system works. It doesn't work by an elderly man with dementia who doesn't know where he is using an auto pen to sign an executive order. That's not going to cut it anymore.
Stunning hearings on food stamp and Medicaid, but we're seeing this turn up all over the country, and people are going to jail. But the big perps, the big names that are behind this, I'm shocked that Tim Walz is still running around loose.
Yeah, me too. I'm not happy about it, to tell you the truth. As we talked about last week, there's no way, or Monday, we talked about this. There's no way he didn't know all of that was happening. There's no way. It's not possible he didn't know. It's not possible
Babylon
the
Bee-
Attorney General didn't know. Yeah.
Babylon B made a great suggestion because Alberta would like to break loose from Canada. We'll
Mhm.
take Alberta if Canada will take Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a fair trade. Minnesota
Go
gets
ahead.
brought in with Quebec, so
Please.
let us have Alberta.
And we'll throw in the Mall of Somalia for free.
Yeah,
which
we
is
can
what they
name
call
that,
it, by the way.
rename Alberta, Northern Montana, and and that'll be great.
I have to ask this because I admittedly am not a WNBA fan, though I know enough to know that Caitlin Clark is a star. What is going on, though, in that league? I'm seeing brawls and all kinds of crap going on. What's the deal with her? Are they circling the wagons around this woman? Is this a racial thing? What is happening with Caitlin Clark?
No, I mean they're the opposite of circling the wagons. The referees won't call fouls on people who just abuse her. I mean, she gets pounded every game. She gets called for technicals for clapping her hands. Wow. The WNBA is a league made up in large part by lesbians. She's straight. 90% of the players in the league are black. She's white. She is far and away the best player in the league. I mean, she's the best player who's ever been in the league by far. It's not close. And so there's a lot of resentment towards her. And the referees have obviously been told by the league to avoid giving even the slightest appearance of giving her any preferential treatment. And they're going so far as to take it to where it's dangerous for her. I think she needs to really seriously consider leaving the league because the other night she gets pummeled down to the ground. She gets stepped on by one opposing player, and another opposing player pretends to trip and
I'm
kind of falls down on her with her fist on her neck. And and that's nothing exceptional. That's nothing unusual. It's every game. She's getting that kind of treatment. There was no foul called on the other team. And if she gets up and protests about it, they're going to call her for a technical. They've called her for 6 technical fouls already this year. And if you get 8, you get suspended. And so, it's just an inevitability. She's going to be suspended by the league at some point this season. And she said that at a press conference the other night. If I was
Isn't she their number one
I'd
draw,
tell her to
though?
go find something else to do. It's just not safe for her to be out there.
It seems
sorry,
to me
what?
that Caitlin Clark is the person that's brought some mainstream interest into that league, and yet the league is not protecting its valuable asset. That's
It's insane. It's just nuts. All her games are sold out. When the Indiana team is in another city, the game sells out. They sell out all their home games. They're the only team that does sell out. And of course, the league shouldn't even exist to begin with. Okay, it's completely financed by the NBA.
Right.
I love watching girls basketball because I have granddaughters who played it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing it anymore, so I don't watch it anymore. But so I don't have anything against women's basketball. It's just that it's an inferior form of basketball. It just is. It's not the NBA, not even close. And any good high school men's basketball team would beat these WNBA teams. That's just a difference in the physicality of the players, basically. But it is a thing. They've spent, and ESPN and the networks have spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to turn it into a major spectator sport. They can't do it. And at some point, the NBA is going to have to say, look, ladies, we've spent 30, 40, 50 million dollars on y'all every year, and you can't make a go of it. It's time to disband. But I just think Caitlin Clark really ought to seriously consider finding something else to do because she's going to ultimately get severely hurt.
That video
by
I just
continuing to
watched,
do this.
very disturbing. It's
Yeah.
It's like street gang behavior.
It is. And it's just out there on the court, and the referees stand there and look at it and shrug their shoulders and go on. And so there's no effort to protect her. And I don't have a dog in the fight, but I don't understand why somebody who loves her isn't going to her and saying, "Hey, you got to stop this. You're going to get hurt, severely hurt, before this is all over."
Unbelievable. Yeah, and by the way, the league would not exist and the salaries they're collecting would not be paid if it was based on their merit alone. In other words, their ability to draw crowds, charge ticket prices. If it weren't for the NBA subsidies, it wouldn't exist.
Right. Yeah, no, it wouldn't exist. And maybe that's sad, maybe it isn't. But I mean, if you can't attract an audience, then there's no obligation for you to exist. Nobody else has an obligation to turn you into their pet social program. And that's what the WNBA is the NBA's social program.
I think the bottom line on what a great part of what we discussed today, especially with the commies taking root in the Democratic Party, and there are still a few Democrats that don't like that, is from the Babylon Bee with a picture of Zohran Mamdani, Satan himself in a suit. Democrats discover innovative strategy of promising free stuff to stupid people. That's what they do. And they've made sure through our education system that stupidity is our number one product.
It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's all around us.
So let's talk a little baseball.
Yeah.
It's almost
good times.
It's almost time for the All-Star game. That'll be coming up in Philadelphia because it is the 250th birthday for America. That's where they played it in 76 as well. But there's not too. I don't know that game. By the way, they're going back to the old home run derby format. Instead of making the batters go up and swing like lumberjacks in a limited amount of time, which is ridiculous. That's not how they bat in a real game.
Right.
They're going to go by individual pitches. I think the home run derby will be a little more watchable this year. But between injuries and everything else, it's unbelievable. There's people like Misiorowski from the Brewers, 104-mile-an-hour fastball, till that arm goes out when you get the news that he's going off for a new elbow.
Yeah, I worry about that, with him and Skubal both,
I can't believe Skubal's back. He's going to be a Dodger, by the way, soon.
Well, that's the rumor. They're one of the teams that's going to try to do a deal for him.
They've got the depth to do it. They can promise Detroit some real legitimate stars if they want to.
Yeah, if they want to. And they've got, the farm system is just backed up with crazy talent in the farm system because nobody can break into the lineup, So, yeah, they're probably well equipped to do a deal if that's what they want to do.
They keep talking about how mediocre the American League is, and they do have
It's bad. Outside the Yankees, it's bad.
It really is. Look at Cal Raleigh. Yeah. Last year, he was on his way to 60 home runs, the All-Star game, and finished second in the MVP. He's got 7 or 8 home runs this year. I'm blaming the World Baseball Classic. I think they need to stop this. I know it's popular, but they're taking players at the beginning of the year, putting them into this highly competitive World Series-like environment after a couple of weeks of spring training. It's over, and then they go back to the gentle rhythm of getting ready for the season in the spring, and I think it's messed a lot of players up.
Because there's a rhythm to getting ready for the season, right? That these players, all these organizations have, and that completely disrupts that rhythm, and it shows. And I think it's probably increased, the number of injuries among those players that participate in it because they're not ready as they normally would be.
Yeah, it's a totally different form of preparation, and there is a rhythm to all of it, and I think they're making a mistake. But how about the fact that Josh Hawley and a few politicians sent a clear message to Rob Manfred on the gay giants?
I thought that was really good. They shouldn't be punishing players for not participating in something like that. They just shouldn't. And
there was a minor league team. They wanted the players to wear rainbow jerseys, for crying out loud. Yeah. That's so in your face. And the players refused, and they forfeited the game. Just stop. We don't need that. We go to baseball. We go to minor league games like our biscuits here, so we don't get a face full of woke. We don't want it. And it should be going away.
Of it, I mean, the Jackie Robinson thing that they do every year where everybody wears number 42 to commemorate him. That's great. That's fine. But it's fine because all the players are on board with it, right? It doesn't offend anybody.
No.
And so, but the whole Pride Night crap, it's got to stop. It's just too much.
And there's no need to know who your second baseman is sleeping with.
There really isn't any need for it. And God help us if we ever find out, boy.
David, I wish you a great weekend. We will see you Monday.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. DavidBlackman.substack.com is how you subscribe to this man. We will look forward to seeing you Monday at 3:30, my friend.
I'll be here.
Okay.
Y'all have a great weekend.
Wow, that time goes by so fast. And now it's just me. You don't want to look at me on the screen, YouTubers, right?
No.
Okay. I'll fix that. We'll put up some of our top headline sources here in the afternoon, like Citizen Free Press. Alito furious with Sotomayor dissent. I'd like to take a look at that, actually. So I will put this up on the screen so you can see what I see, some of the stuff I check during the course of the show. It is just so much fun to work with David. When you need an attorney for a life crisis, could be a divorce, could be somebody from the past coming back, these situations, unless you're really, really mentally healthy, can throw your life into complete chaos and turmoil, especially if you insist on managing it yourself. What I learned for all life decisions is to find people who can handle your situation for you, take the pressure off you so you can focus on moving forward with your life, and let them deal with it. With Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson, you're talking about many years of experience, hundreds and hundreds of cases, legal wisdom that is beyond, top notch. But I always point this out, the legal leadership, the look in the eye. Okay, we've digested your situation. We have all the circumstances, the players, the situation, and this is where you want to get. So here's how we're going to do it. And that's putting forth a plan so it takes the gray out of moving forward with your life because they're handling that for you. And it's so important. Now, you may not be in a situation like that in your life, but you may know somebody who is. Please recommend this phone number, 819-4810 in the 334 area code, 819-4810, or direct them to this web address, thealabamafamilylawyers.com. In addition to divorce, custody issues, and so forth, they can draw up a will. They work with people on adoptions if the government's getting in the way of your goal there, blended families, and more. Again, experience matters. Legal leadership is everything. With Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
Representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
No question about the quality of our traffic service here. The Great Skipper is up.
Well, some good news. We believe our earlier accidents have cleared, but we are beginning to get really busy now on I-65 and 85. We're seeing slow traffic, Bell to Taylor out to Chantilly Parkway, 65 northbound loading up, as well as 231 to Wetumpka. Highways 83, 31, and Troy Highway, light to moderate building traffic. Same for 31 to Prattville. Be safe. We'll update you when accidents happen to slow you down. Get $1,000 customer cash on Camrys at McKinnon Toyota. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
With a Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. The U.S. economy grows at a stronger than expected 2.1% annual pace in the first quarter, a modest but solid pickup. That's up from just 0.5% growth seen late last year during the government shutdown. The figure is also revised higher. Business investment surging on AI, while consumer spending said to be pulling back. Apple has announced an increase in prices for Macs and iPads, citing a memory chip shortage brought on by the artificial intelligence boom. The Cupertino, California-based company called the demand spike an unprecedented challenge for the consumer electronics industry. The new entry-level MacBook Neo will now cost $699, up from $599. Stocks were mixed today, with tech, especially AI names, continuing to swing sharply after some fluctuations. A high-tech NASDAQ closed down by 118 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800-lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet just got more amazing. To help our customers during these tough economic times, in June, Pizza Perfect has reduced the price of our buffet to just $10. That's pizza, as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, everything, only $10. Pizza Perfect Buffet, available Monday through Saturday for lunch, and for dinner Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pickup or delivery. Also in June, get $5 off any large pizza at Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook, where the buffet is only $10 all month long.
Closed June 29th through the 4th of July.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The U.S. economy expanding at a solid and unexpected 2.1% annual pace from January through March, according to the Commerce Department. The growth in gross domestic product, the nation's output of goods and services, marked a rebound from a sluggish 0.5% in the last 3 months of 2025. That's when a 43-day federal government shutdown weighed on the economy. The evacuation of ships through the Strait of Hormuz has been paused after the British military said a vessel was hit by a projectile off the coast of Oman. Venezuelans searching for survivors beneath collapsed buildings and rescue teams raced to the areas hardest hit by a pair of powerful earthquakes that rocked northern Venezuela, killing at least 188 people and trapping more than 200 in that country. This is SRN News.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174.
Thank you for calling the United States Armed Forces. All of our units are currently busy assisting other customers in various trouble spots around the world. When you hear the beep, please leave the name of your country, the nature of your crisis, and a number where we can reach you. As soon as we finish cleaning up the Balkans, Iraq, Korea, China, Y2K, and our compulsory consideration of the feelings of others orientation classes, we'll be happy to return your call. For more options, please press 1 now. If your crisis is small, immediate in nature, underfunded, and close to the ocean, press 1 for the United States Marine Corps. If your crisis is distant, with a mild climate and good hotels, and can be solved by 1 or 2 low-risk, high-altitude bombing runs, please press 2 for the United States Air Force. If your crisis can be resolved with a bit of gray flannel, flags, and a really good marching band, press 3 for the United States Navy. Please note that Tomahawk missile service is extremely limited and will be provided on a first-come, first-served basis. If your crisis is not urgent, press 4 for the Rapid Deployment Force. If you're in real trouble, press 5 for the U.S. Army Special Operations Command Center. Your request will be processed as soon as the compulsory credit check is completed. Please note that the Army Special Command may bill your account at any time, and the actual specifics of the charges will be classified. If you'd like to join the U.S. Army, where you'll be shouted at for low pay, have your wife and family stationed miles from civilization, and are prepared to work long hours, risk your life in all kinds of weather and terrain, while watching Congress constantly erode your pay and benefits package, please stay on the line. A bitter, passed-over Army recruiter in an old strip mall down by the post office will be with you shortly. Thank you for calling the United States Armed Forces.
Looking at a clip on Twitter from Tuesday night celebrating the Democratic primary victories of a Palestinian Muslim candidate who said America deserved 9/11. This is in New York. Remember they said we'd never forget? America deserved 9/11, and a Haitian convert to Islam who led a group aiming to eradicate America and Western civilization. And the question is, what the hell is wrong with them? The good news is they're Democrats. And not everybody in the Democratic Party thinks this is a good thing. Let them figure it out. They're doing everything possible to hand the midterms to the Republicans. We'll take it. But on the other hand, seems like the Republicans are trying just as hard to hand it to them. I don't know what to think anymore. All right, we are at 5:11 right now on News Talk. I really haven't had a chance to take a look at what happened in the markets today, so we'll all find out together when we visit with Brant McDonald here in a couple of minutes on News Talk.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care, so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google. Get ready for a legendary night of soul on November 25th. The Temptations take the stage at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center with special guest Ruben Studdard. It's the Temptations live on stage at the Impact. It's on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and the box office. Don't miss The Temptations with special guest Ruben Studdard. One incredible night of classic soul and R&B.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On the radar, any showers this evening will be very, very sparse. Not many. And they will fade out. Overnight low temperature, very muggy 73. Tomorrow and Friday will be even hotter with the high temperatures in the lower 90s both days. Good bit of sunshine and mostly dry for the next few days. There are triple-digit heat indices in our future, especially by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the low to mid 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Everything that guy just said. Thank you.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
All right, we should be joined here shortly by Brett McDonald, taking a look around at headlines. Hang on one second here. Okay. I'm going to try and play the audio from this clip a little bit later in the hour. A lawmaker touring one of those luring centers tied to $1 million in taxpayer funds, except there's no sign of kids today or at any other point. But they got their $1 million. Olivia Dunn is a successful brewer. That's exciting. This story here, a mother charged with murder after her teenage daughter drank herself to death with 173 bottles of booze provided by mom, because mom clearly is a thirsty woman. Sad, just so sad. Exorcist priest reveals bizarre details from an exorcism that he said left needing him surgery. You know, y'all remember the movie from 73 with Linda Blair and the book by William Peter Blatty. Yet I haven't seen too much. Maybe you know of a documentary or something I can find on YouTube where priests discuss what they have seen during these things. I mean, I knew a couple of priests in Chicago who didn't really want to talk about it, but they said, yeah, this is real. The book is not based on, it's not fiction, but getting them to describe what they personally have witnessed or recommending somebody. I read somewhere that the Vatican authorizes or sanctions about 150 of these a year. You know, they could make themselves much more efficient if they just put the Democrats in one big room and did it to them. Might make things better. Mr. McDonald, is this you, sir?
Yeah, you got him. How are you doing, Greg?
The man we call Mr. Right on the Money. Because he is. And welcome to you from Invista Advisors. I haven't had a chance to look at the market much today. What are the headlines and market-moving stories that we need to know about?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. You know, first of all, we've been talking the last couple of days about the PCE number that was going to come out this morning, and we got that number. It was right in line with expectations, which was nice. And I think the market, you know, took that as good news, really. You look at the headline number, it was up 4.1% year over year. The core number came in right in line, so that was a good thing. Interestingly, when you peel back those numbers, though, you start to look at the individual components, but more specifically, I think, income and expenditures. On the income side of things, it was much better than what we've seen in the past. I think you've heard me mention, Greg, in the last couple of months that the consumer income really hasn't been keeping up with inflation like we would like to see it. This month was different, though. It was up a pretty big amount, up 0.7% month over month. But so was spending. And so then the next question you would ask is, well, wow, what are they spending on? It wasn't really energy as much as you would have thought. It was really more financial services and healthcare and some other items, which was, you know, kind of normal, really. And so all in all, that part of the picture was okay. But here's I guess the more troublesome part of it. When you look at the savings rate, that number came in at 3%. It's basically after you take all the income and you take everything that consumers spent money on and what is left, okay? And that number's 3%. That's a pretty low number. And keep in mind, savings rate is really a formula that it's not like traditional savings that people listening to me might think. It's not like, oh, I think I'm going to save some money and put it in the bank. Under the real definition of savings, it's what are you doing with the cash? Or are you paying off debt? Those kinds of things. And so it's to see a low number like that is a little concerning, actually. That just tells us that the consumer's kind of running towards the end of things, if you will. I don't think that let's put it this way, with a number that low, there's just no way the consumer really can keep up this level of spending. At some point, it's going to have to normalize. And so you would expect to see a little bit of a slowdown in spending from the consumer in the forward months, say sometime over the next 3 to 5 months, maybe 6 months, something like that. But outside of that, the number was not horrible. It was actually pretty good, in line. And as I said the other day, I suspect, with gasoline prices coming down, we'll start to see PCE come down, and that would also impact the CPI as well. But overall, Greg, not a bad day. Interestingly, the NASDAQ, though, down 4 days in a row now. And I think one of the key drivers there is what's going on in their input costs with respect to things like semiconductor chips. You look at Micron, which had a big number yesterday, reported after hours, and that stock was way up in after hours on the report. But then you come into trading today, and guess what? You see companies like Apple and Microsoft just getting absolutely just crushed because what do? They have to buy these chips in order to manufacture computers and do all the things they're doing with cloud services, et cetera. And we saw that bear fruit today in the action with Apple and Microsoft and a whole host of other companies like them. So that's creating some volatility. We don't get any data tomorrow, so there's not really a whole lot to speak about with respect to tomorrow. But I would tell you, we're drawing close now to the end of June, which would, of course, be the end of the second quarter. And then we come back next week. We've got it's a holiday week.
Yeah.
It's a week before a whole slew of earnings announcements that are going to kick off the following week after the 4th of July. So I would suspect that we won't see a whole lot of volatility in the next week or over the next week or so, because a lot of people will be taking off for vacations and what have you. But anyway, that's how it looks today, and we'll see what next week brings. In the meantime, hope you've had a good day, Greg. Everything good in your world?
Oh, everything is hunky-dory. And the great news is I have people like you and David Blackman who fill in the blanks when I get unnecessarily distracted. So it's always good to talk to you. Yeah, next week, it's hard to believe that not this weekend, obviously, but the next weekend is the 4th of July. Hard to believe.
It really is. And you think, too, 10 more weeks and college football season will be starting.
Yes,
huh?
I know. It's just unbelievable how fast it's going by that we're almost, at noon on July the 2nd, we will be halfway through 2026. Unbelievable. My friend, thank you for your help as always. If there's big stories on Friday morning, we always keep a spot open for you at 8:30 if you need us.
You got it, buddy. Y'all have a great night.
You too. Take care.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
I think David Blackman had a great point about Caitlin Clark. Again, I'm not a WNBA fan, but This is thug behavior they're committing on this woman. It's not passionate game of basketball. This is gang behavior. And it makes me sad. Sad to see that. And maybe the funniest story today, the Supreme Court telling Hawaii, which is one of the 57 states, the one where Barack Obama liked to hang out around Christmas time so he wouldn't expose his Muslim faith to all of that joy every year, that no, the Hawaiian, what's the word for it? You can't just say you can't have guns here because it's not compatible with our state motto, something ridiculous. So I'm sure there's some grateful Hawaiians who will now know that, yeah, I can actually own a gun. We are still part of the United States of America. I'm going to go back in a moment for a Ted Cruz moment. Since I just mentioned Hawaii, Mazie Hirono is the incredibly annoying woman who represents them in the Senate, one of their 2 senators. And Ted Cruz, she opened the door. He came in and gave her a lesson in civics that needs to be heard, and history. And history. The Democrats have gotten away with murder. You know, they campaign against the very things that they have represented throughout the entirety of their history. And Ted Cruz wasn't having it. So that's coming up.
Traffic is brought to you by Victoryland. The winning is 24/7 at Victoryland. Go where the winners go every day, and you can be a winner too. Victoryland, I-85 exit 22 shorter, admission 19 and over.
Tracking your commute home, here's Skipper, 525.
Well, a lot of folks are out on the roads trying to get home this afternoon. Traffic light to moderate. We're busiest along East and East-South Boulevard and on I-85, Bell to Taylor and Chantilly. I-65 northbound light to moderate. Not really hearing of any issues anywhere around the area at the moment. Be safe out there. Use those seatbelts. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can get up to $5,000 off a new Armada. Up to $5,000 on Nissan Frontier. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Feeling the pinch on your food budget? You're not alone, but saving is easy every day at Food Outlet, Montgomery, Prattville, and Millbrook. And remember, Food Outlet is priced at cost, plus just 10%. Listen to these specials good through June 30th. The 27-ounce assorted Margaret Holmes vegetables, only $2.25 each. Take home a 15-ounce package of Ballpark Franks for $1.74. A 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, only $1.96. Great for the 4th. The 22-ounce size assorted Bush's Grill and Beans, $2.26 each. Get a 3-pound bag of Vidalia onions for only $2.17. And 12-pack cans of all Coke products are only $4.99. Food Outlet is locally owned. When you shop here, more of your money stays right here in our community. Your Food Outlet store is open 7 days a week, 7 till 9. Check us out on Facebook for more great specials. Food Outlet in Eastbrook Shopping Center, Montgomery. Prattville at 720 East Main, and in Millbrook at 3543 Highway 14. Shop Food Outlet and pay cost plus 10%.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
A long, long time ago, we used to get our food homegrown, and toothpaste used to make you smile. It used to be you'd shop with ease, never eating antifreeze. You planned to keep on living quite a while. But now our goods are all delivered from somewhere on the Yangtze River. No one knows the source there, so you might find some horsehair. But if corporations make a buck, they don't give a flying Peking duck. And with this system we get stuck today. It makes you sigh. Now when you abide by an American pie, your grandma didn't make it, it was made in Shanghai, where they engineered the apples to be juicy, not dry, but the crust is made of cardboard and lye. But don't feed it to your dog, he might die. Now did you eat a tasty cake, and did it make your stomach ache? I could have said I told you so. The reason you are looking wan is some guy took bribes in Szechuan, so you just bit into Little Debbie's toe. And now the toys you bought from Fisher Price have toxins deemed unsafe for mice, and Elmo tends to wheeze because he's laced with PCBs. But how my problems seem so far when I see my cheap new DVR. I'll even brush my teeth with tar, and you will see that I'll buy from some young guy. I drive a Chevy and it's heavy, but the price is too high. Soon $20 will buy a car from Shanghai, and honey, that'll be the day we all die.
Tim Hawkins at 531, good Christian comedian, funny stuff. Mr. Yoga Pants. We have a call at 531. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I wasn't trying to get on the radio.
Well, there's no choice. I do not have a producer, so how can I help you?
I was actually looking for who you would recommend to do VA home loans.
Oh, Alabama Home Mortgage.
I appreciate that.
Well, I got their number right here. You're going to love these people. They're really awesome. Do you have a pencil?
I do.
It is 567-4223. That's in the 334 area code.
4223.
567-4223. You'll love them. Take my word for it. And please call me back and let me know if I could be of further help.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good day. Yeah, see, if there's no producer, I can't screen the calls unless you call during a break. I do the best I can with what I got here, my friends. Interesting development. It's raining for the second day in a row, even though the chance of rain has been relatively low. I'm going to take it the Live in Fear Doppler here. 77 degrees. So did I see that correctly? 77? Yeah, there's some pop-up showers. There's nothing major out there, maybe to the north. But, yeah, we've been blessed with rain. I got to take another look at that. 77 degrees. So apparently there's been a little rain at the airport, which isn't bad. Rich's weather coming up in just a moment. We're going to check back with Skipper. And up next, news with Scott Mosley.
Well, a lot of folks are out on the roads trying to get home this afternoon. Traffic light to moderate. We're busiest along East and East-South Boulevard and on I-85, Bell to Taylor and Chantilly. I-65 northbound light to moderate. Not really hearing of any issues anywhere around the area at the moment. Be safe out there. Use those seatbelts. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can get up to $5,000 off a new Armada, up to $5,000 on Nissan Frontier at the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Jay Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Authorities are requesting the public's assistance in locating a man who escaped from the federal prison camp at Maxwell Air Force Base. 35-year-old Desmond Rashad Whitaker escaped from federal custody in Montgomery on Tuesday. He is described as 5'10", 220 pounds with brown eyes and short black hair. Whitaker was serving 100 months for a drug trafficking crime. The Elmore County Commission is moving forward with plans for a new county jail. The 30-year-old existing jail was designed to house about 240 prisoners, but regularly contains over 300 inmates. The new jail will be constructed behind the Elmore County Judicial Complex in Wetumpka. Construction is expected to begin next month and will take approximately 3 years to complete. The town of Pike Road is celebrating summer and America's 250th birthday tonight. Summerfest will be taking place at the Pike Road Performing Arts Park on Trotman Road. There'll be food trucks, activities for the kids, music, and a special appearance by Uncle Sam. Summerfest begins at 6 p.m. tonight with fireworks just after dark. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
All right, phone's ringing, so let's take a call. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
I got a quick question for you. I have contacted the city and the state, and I have went by the news office on Harrison Road and asked them all the same question. Why is it every other year Perry Hill and I-85 from Perry Hill Road all the way down to Taylor Road get repaid?
Good question. I don't know if that's a federal thing, a project, or local.
I can't
honestly
never
don't
get
know.
an answer to it.
Maybe somebody listening will be able to tell us. We certainly could use a fresh coat of asphalt on a lot of roads, but primarily two of our big east-west arterial roads.
Yeah, that highway needs it bad.
Oh, man, especially at Perry Hill. And then Vaughn Road is a patchwork of pothole fills. And it's disgusting. What are we paying 10% sales tax here for? That's what I'd like to know.
Yes, sir. And it's just going to waste.
It is. I'm sure that, and when Tommy Tuberville becomes governor, he's bringing accountants into the state to find out who's pissing away our money. And I have a few suspects in mind already. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I have loved being here since the day I moved here. I mean, how could you not love a place? Meet a good guy like Ben Hagler at a bar, not to drink, just to pick up a hotel key so I had a place to stay. And I'm not making this up. Within 20 minutes, I had 2 phone numbers of really hot Southern women. Now, who wouldn't want to stay and have more of that? Just, not that that's everything. You know? Hey, save me here. Good afternoon. Who's this?
This is Crawdad.
What's up, Crawdad?
I want to know if you can help me. I have a phone, but I don't know how to use the camera. I got to get this picture before it goes away. There's a great big dog frog out here riding along down my driveway in the rain, and he has an umbrella. I have to get my camera to work so I can take this picture and show you. Will not believe it. There's a dog frog holding an umbrella riding on a piece of log down my driveway.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that they exist.
I've seen him out here. He's a big one, but he has an umbrella.
Does he make a sound like this?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
That's
But he
probably-
said something about Janelle. I don't know what he's talking about. Something about, hey, something he said. I could tell what he said. I recognize the name Janelle, though.
Keep me posted, okay, Crawdad?
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
See ya.
your braveness this afternoon.
Rock and Roll Royalty is coming to Montgomery on October 9th. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs take the stage at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center. As the legendary lead guitarist and co-songwriter for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Mike Campbell helped create some of rock's most unforgettable songs. October 9th at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center. Tickets on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com and ImpactOnline.org. Don't miss Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs live in Montgomery.
Trust Montgomery's glass experts to provide you with fast and convenient service when and where you need it. Find out how affordable independent glass can be. Free estimates on storefronts, shower doors, furniture tops, plate glass, window glass, plexiglass, custom beveled mirrors, residential or commercial services. You come to them or Independent Glass will come to you. Call Independent Glass 263-2823, 263-2823, or stop by 2047 Bell Street near the entrance to Maxwell. Independent Glass.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge. What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look, I'm bringing you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On the radar, any showers this evening will be very, very sparse. Not many. And they will fade out. Overnight low temperature, very muggy 73. Tomorrow and Friday will be even hotter with the high temperatures in the lower 90s both days. Good bit of sunshine and mostly dry for the next few days. There are triple-digit heat indices in our future, especially by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures in the low to mid-90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Life's a beach with an ASE loan financing the fun you deserve. It's your summer, your way. ASE has the funds. Apply online or at any of our 9 locations.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
It's happy hour, come gather round. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl. It's time for a smoke break.
Good.
Monday and Thursday on happy hour. Mr. Thespian feels Tuesday spotlight. Happy hour. Eddie stops by on Friday with some snacks. Happy hour. Laugh a little louder while the whole world swirls. Hanging out in the chat will change your world. On happy hour. Happy hour. Oh, happy hour.
On Happy Hour.
Let's coast to the finish line. Today is Global Beatles Day. And here's why it's celebrated. Some of you of age will remember the miracle of satellite television transmission. I mean, now we can send a text anywhere in the world. They'll get it 3 seconds later, and I can't even comprehend how amazing that is. But back then, and I told the story this morning, one of the first things that was transmitted by satellite from here to the rest of the world was a Cubs game in '63, I think. But the Cubs were so bad, very few people went to games. It was always 7,000, 8,000 people. The Cubs, since they had agreed to do the satellite telecast, wanted a full ballpark, so they said all seats are free on Telstar Day. And even with that, even with free tickets, they could only get 20,000 people to attend the game. But they did this with the Beatles in 1967. They did a BB show called Our World. And they performed All You Need Is Love. As in fact, I didn't even know till today that John Lennon wrote the song for this satellite broadcast. He kept the chorus simple so even people who didn't speak great English would get the message. And at the end of this clip, you'll hear Lennon and producer George Martin as they worked on the backing track. Okay, I've got something else open, and I see what it is. And it was Megyn Kelly, and I was going to play that clip, except she potty-mouthed the whole thing up. Megyn, you're still a relatively hot, articulate woman. See if you can clean up your language. I can't support your podcast if you're going to drop F-bombs. Anyway, the Beatles, this date, 1967. By the way, one of the people sitting in the audience as that performance was ongoing was Mick Jagger. Here's a call. Good afternoon. Who's this?
It's Chad.
The Legal Eagle. The real Chad.
All you need,
Chad.
The real Chad. And I'll change the lyrics to that song. All you need is beer. So, how you guys doing today? It's a big court day.
Yeah. Great to see decisions going our way. Of course, the communists on the Supreme Court, they who have never, I think in Ketanji's case, have never read the Constitution. They didn't agree, but still a win.
We actually had a statute that says you can't apply for the asylum unless you're in the United States. And somehow 3 liberals on the court can't understand what the word "in" means. They think it means in a country next to the United States. And you know, that's a scary thing. When the plain language of that shows you it's political for them.
Yes, it is
political. Yeah, and that's a dangerous thing. So, but we got good decisions on that. Good decisions on also the temporary status with the Haitians, because we had over 350,000 Haitians come into the country, not vetted at all, and put on temporary status. So I mean, that's some serious poverty coming right into the United States. And I'm all for helping people that can make it here and everything, but you have to have you have to have a legal right to be here.
Oh, look what happened under Biden and Obama. They were setting up little satellite nations in America with Somalia and the Haitians. I lived in South Florida. There was a huge Haitian population, and it was one of the most chronically crime-ridden areas of town, no matter how much help they got. It was just bad. You don't want to go near there.
That's because that's the way of survival in Haiti, unfortunately, right? It's because it's the governments there are always corrupt and they're always run by strong-armed dictators. Just like all this great socialism that all these people in New York apparently want, So,
11% of the vote. That's because anybody with a brain has moved out of that crap hole.
Well, if you don't turn out and vote, and in our election, I don't know what our turnout was on the runoff. I think it was probably like 11 or 12%.
It was very
weak.
It's
bad. It was weak. Also, I don't know if you know this, but the Virginia Circuit Court there just enjoined their new gun law, so they cannot. They have an assault weapons ban, whatever an assault weapon is. An assault weapons ban to liberals is something a gun that looks mean to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
if you dress up a 22 and you put a cool looking stock on it and make it look mean, it suddenly becomes an assault weapons, right? Because nobody can really.
They're such mental patients. They don't even understand why the Second Amendment exists, and it's for that reason.
Well, that leads to the other case that came out of the Supreme Court today against Hawaii. The state of Hawaii had implemented another gun ban. And now here's the killer. I want everybody to listen to this. Their argument is that they had a traditional history of being anti-gun, and that should override the Second Amendment that's in the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. The case that they cited in support of that premise was a Civil War law implemented by Louisiana to keep blacks from owning guns. So they cited a racist law as a basis of support for keeping guns out of people who can legally own them. A racist. Not when liberals.
Oh, Chad, you just disconnected yourself. I didn't touch a thing. I am innocent on this. If you can, call us right back. Yeah, you get a great call, and technology gets in the way. Although I did hear that people with apple cheeks can often disconnect their own calls. They're going to have to take a look at that. Wow, Democrats now favor socialism over capitalism, 66%. They don't know what they're talking about. God help them. That's just beyond depressing. All right, one thing we can do here to see if Chad can, in fact, call us back is get our final traffic update from Skipper. If not, we'll go back to the Beatles for a minute.
Well, no issues in the area right now. Light to moderate traffic, I-65 and 85. We've been a little bit busy on 65 and 85 through the interchange. Boulevard still light to mostly moderate. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka not reporting any issues. If you'll keep it here, we will keep you updated with traffic. Davis Store and Sash has quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials when you mention this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
Now, Chad didn't make it. Maybe he just ran out of juice. Looking at a story here, a man killed in a crash involving a semi-truck driven by a 15-year-old kid. This happened in Oklahoma, not here. How does that happen? How does a 15-year-old get behind the wheel of a semi-truck? I'm not even sure that my feet would reach the gas pedals. And I'm not short by any stretch of the imagination. Any other headlines here at the last minute? I want to finish up with the Beatles here because it is Global Beatles Day. Not Globalist Beatles, Beatles Day. The Beatles, as popular as they are, if they did an entire album of just tuning their guitars, people would buy it.